You are listening to a piece of the Salasin.10 podcast area. You are listening to a piece of the Salasin.10 podcast area.
Did you read the chat?
Yeah,
No. I'm disappointed.
my brain is too much to do anything programming in the free time. Which is actually
Like
lies.
free time.
Your time is stream games.
Which is not coding.
You were playing the what? Magnus what?
Moonlighter. I actually did a programming game. Stop.
Oh, okay.
Let's get it.
This is how I fuck up my laptop.
Very
How
old.
do you do that?
What? Do what?
So
Right. Oh. This is actually called, just in case for people who don't know, this is called Go Present.
Yay!
So it's a tool, it's a Golang tool also that you basically write something like this and it becomes slides nicely like this. So it's a short one.
Oh, it's like, okay.
Cool.
So short one. File processing, just like I/O, like simple one. Very simple. It's actually called how to do buffering. So to open a file, this is like how you open a file. I'm not gonna repeat this afterwards. The usual one, yeah, usual error handling. And normally, what I notice from people is they use this tool, I/O util, which is also part of a standard library to read everything. Then they process that afterwards. Basically, what it does here is it reads everything into B, and then just separate them by new line. Then run this. The problem with this is that when you read all like this, you actually load the whole file into the memory. So if the file is small, then it's okay lah. But it's not really a best way to do especially when you are
The
trying
thing
to-
about this, if you want to be more practical, is that it is not streaming because, for instance,
Yeah.
if you're reading from standard in, for instance, you have to wait until everything has been
Yep.
inside the memory before the next stage can
Yep.
actually proceed. So that means is that if you pipe, let's say, output of a large file from curl to this particular
No,
program,
no, not
you have
yet.
to wait.
It's behind.
Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Actually, I thought
It's
we were-
behind. It's
But,
behind.
just,
It's not ended yet.
before jumping ahead, if you guys see the run part and why we want to use this particular Go Present is that
You can run
this is
this.
actually linked to the sandbox, so that the presentation slides is actually interactive for you to be able to run this or even edit this.
How do you rate the file?
Oh, it's actually reading from my system. It's actually running. You run a Go code.
Yes.
So wire this. So it's actually look nicer for presentation.
So the file is actually pointing to a
Local one.
local.
Yeah. So if you want to cover like complexity, when you read this, you load everything into a memory. Then when you split it, it also process everything at the same time. So you actually wait to finish all of this, put them into a memory, then process this, also put it in the memory. Then you can like start because then you see when you separate them by line, then you get the item lah. Each of the item is the first row, which is the header. And yeah, but this is what I see from most people that when they start Golang, they try to read file like this and they complain about, oh, it's not optimal and
Want to start B and then B more.
yeah. Oh, actually, you see, if you notice, I didn't show everything. It's actually a whole workable Golang code. So this is actually like more like a
Label.
mark label or something like.
So this one file only.
This is one file. This is actually both the same file.
Oh.
So I only show what I want to show. You guys seem to be more interested in the present too. So next, of course, I'm gonna show you guys a scanner. A scanner works if anything as long as it's compliant with the I/O reader interface. For more info about that, read about that. It's very powerful. What it means is a scanner. Most of the I/O on Golang side, they fulfill either the reader or the writer interface. So this will work on most even like HTTP traffic and stuff like Han say, even like when you do a HTTP, you can gradually that's how you gradually like read them through and stuff like while you download.
The request.
Yep. Actually, the read is the read speed is actually your download speed. You can actually read your download also that way. So by default, it actually separates stuff by new line, but you can provide it. There's a method called split that you provide a function to split it whatever you like. Yeah, go read about that in the documentation. So how to use a scanner is as simple as that. So I basically wrap it with this, and I get a scanner variable. Then I have to run a scan in order to get the next item. So yeah, that's it. And this operation doesn't need me to load everything and split them line by line. So this actually just split the first line.
Okay.
And to read more, like I want to read 10 lines. So just 10 lines without loading anything extra. In a way, it's lazy. So what's the problem with this is sometimes you want to have it's actually okay if you run this normally, unless your file is really big, like a few tera of you want a very small program to process few tera of them, then you probably or the result is I/O blocking. You want to like save it to different file or have some really slow operation that is not CPU bound, mainly I/O like when you write a lot of stuff to the database, it will be slow, right? But the CPU is not so intensive, so you can have a lot of Go routine to wait for it. So we're going to show you how to solve the blocking issue, which is via Go channel. So this is how you create a channel. This is the type, the channel type, and also the type of the payload.
So if you have 4 channels, does it mean it's 4 channels?
Nice try. I'm not gonna entertain you. So by default, a channel when you start is actually not buffered. What it means that after the first insert, it will be blocked. It's not after the first insert. You block until you have something that consume. So in order to make it a buffer channel, you have to provide a number. So this is the buffering. So I'm gonna buffer 10 at a time. But
So
of
this
course,
one is asynchronous?
yeah, not synchronous. No, this is nothing to do with asynchronous. This is just a channel is just like a container. You put something in, like a queue actually.
It is a queue.
It's a first in first out. So you put something in. So until I'm gonna show you here. So what happened here is I'm gonna just take
It's just a buffer?
say buffer 10, right?
It's just a buffer, right? The channel?
It's just a buffer that accept 10 items. So what it does is I try to read the file. It's the same file. It's actually 10,000 lines of rows of records. And this, when I run this, it will die, of course, because there is nobody to consume it. So you fill it up until it is full. So also gotcha is at least the compiler at the runtime can detect that. If you create a channel and you put something in, you better have something that to consume it. but the compiler will warn you anyway. So problem is it requires a consumer. So a consumer is just a function. How to consume a Go channel, single direction. I put this because I want it to be single directional. So this is a function that consumes. Wait group is actually just a wait group, just make sure everybody exit at the same time. Yeah. So this is I just look through this. I don't do anything with it, I just consume it. So we can read. So this is the final code. I'm gonna create a channel with a buffered channel with 10 maximum item. So I can have 12 consumer, 12 worker. So the wait group is basically like to make sure everybody exit properly, then gonna finish. So it's in a way it looks a bit like upside down because you're supposed to start the consumer first before you start putting stuff to it. So after I set up, after I started this channel, I have to start the consumer. The goal directive is actually to make it to like something to make the function to go running in the background. So it's actually while there are signals coming in, I just keep running it up.
Trading.
Yeah, it's something like trading, but it's not trading like but it's
It's the same idea.
Same idea. Yeah.
Different implementation.
So-
Call it Go routine, right? Go routine.
Go routine.
Go routine. It's called go routine.
Yeah.
So it's like go lah. And I'm gonna just scan, just put it in. So of course there's a timeout for go present. Supposedly there's a 10,000 records, but you queued for it. So see, I can read and populate it while I'm consuming. As I consuming, then I don't have to lump that much into the memory. The good thing about this is with a buffer channel you only consume that much memory. So you don't need to like being too eager. Like let's say you have a machine with 2 gig of memory, and you try to, no way you're gonna load 5 gig of file into the memory, right? So it's in a way it's a more a gentler way to slowly while I need it. Really, just simple really limiting us. Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Pipelining technically.
Yeah.
Anyone does
Not to mention IO pipe. So don't worry about it. I will show you.
pipelining.
Done.
Technique is pipelining.
No, not medical. Yeah, nowadays.
Useful for you. It's very for you.
Okay, more factorial.
Multiple consumer.
Everyone is using the slide.
Multiple consumer.
Then key.
That is multiple consumer. I have
Because you have
12
functions,
consumers.
Oh.
Because when you do thread, like for example Python, you need to provide function, right? So the function you need to instantiate the thread to call that function to read from
Rust also the
a
same.
queue. Read from a queue. You need to do that for Go channel. It's almost
Really?
invisible.
Nah, it's fine. Just show.
So you how consume. There's a consumer
Yeah.
that read from channel. So
But
in a way, it's invisible, but it's a different sort of abstraction.
But the Go routine won't cost much runtime. Won't have much runtime.
That's why it's
cost.
called Go routine. It's different from trading. It's
Yeah.
in a way it's like green trade, which is like a lighter version of trading.
Yeah.
But it's not the OS thread.
No,
It's not always
no,
right.
it's not.
It's lighter. That's why less overhead.
Yes.
No, OS thread is less overhead, right? Green threads have some overhead.
Yeah, but
If
it's a
all
different
of them are
one.
running, yes. But most of the time you'll be waiting for Go.
Yeah.
That's why one of the reasons why Go is actually good.
Yeah,
for
most of
users
them.
is that if you are writing network servers, most of the time you're waiting for the server or the client to actually receive something. So when you actually spawn a lot of these threads or this one, rather than having a lot of synchronous callbacks, actually
Green trades is actually
green threads is the one actually running, not running. I mean,
if you want to say the example for Python is you have real trade, OS trade, but green trades are trades that populates the
Trading.
OS trade itself. So you don't have to have so many copy of memory. Because when you start a thread, you have to copy the memory over.
Wow, I didn't know they go there.
Hey.
Why you?
How the heck will you actually have a backdoor?
Hey.
Wait, you just finish this one. Not the main
Wow,
course.
backstage actress. Right?
So TLDR is
I
different.
didn't know you do auto
Same idea, different kind of implementation.
It's actually, green thread is actually lighter, much lighter.
No, they say it's light thread, but then the over thread is much lighter.
E-tracks is the same.
No, maybe. Maybe.
E-tracks actually share the same memory space.
Because I didn't read that from Go. I read that from Rust. They say why they don't choose green thread. And then they have a reason for that.
Because you don't. What's the main thing about Rust is everything is immutable,
Yeah.
and it has a very strict memory ownership. So to have if I want to say is to do anything with side effect is also a pain in the ass. Like let's say like HTTP is proper like handling a file, or no, as simple as trying to write a UI or try to bind with existing C library is a lot of work to do something as similar as that.
Probably easier than Go.
No, it's harder than Go.
Yeah, harder than Go.
Because the strict memory model. Because
so you cannot have this not that means it's hard to implement.
so in Rust something is like this. Let's say this is one function. You initiate a variable. If you pass it to this function, it'll be gone because it's used.
Unless you borrow.
Borrow is actually a pointer.
That's ownership model lifetime.
So it's in a way you have to be really careful. Even string is not so straightforward.
Yeah, but unless you get used to it, then maybe you know.
Yeah. So in terms of ease of writing, it's very easy to write.
Go is easier.
And Go, the next version they will be more optimized in allocating. Like let's say this is within a block, they will be allocated to the stack instead of the heap. So it will be in terms of memory usage and stuff, it will be much better.
But Go 2 have a
Why is 2?
trait.
No 2 lah. No Go 2 lah.
How come they say version 2?
No.
Not the next release.
That is the Go 1.11. 1.11.
Not planned for 2.
Not yet.
Because I saw on GitHub the wiki page
2
have
is-
Go 2.
Yeah, there's a milestone lah, but there's no, they don't plan it yet lah.
Yeah, they say have what? They add traits to Go.
What?
They say they add traits. More abstractions.
You can already do composition.
You can only have the attributes.
They,
That's how you do JSON storage.
they're gonna do a lot. They're gonna experiment a bit. 2 is they don't put much of priority right now, but it will be significantly different. But it will be a long time until they find it comfortable. The main thing about Golang is the language is very small. It's supposed to very easy.
You just
to
read
pick up.
the Go effective and then one page done.
Yeah. And nothing much, right? No secret, no special keyword. Reserve keyword is very little, right? Not much of a reserve keyword also.
Yeah.
The surprising thing is that for all our whole code, even upgrading whatever version, it still works. There's no surprises unless you are making mistakes.
Also, there's the promise of Go 1 that you can just upgrade, nothing will break.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So,
Or the one stability, yeah.
yeah, that's why
Like
they
no
put-
Python 2 and 3,
Yeah,
like PHP 5 and 7.
or every version of Rust, you know.
No,
Because
Rust don't
it's-
have. Rust is very stable.
Right now, it's there's still a lot of different changes.
But I don't see any issue with that. There's Rust fix automatic port your code to the new version.
Yeah, there's a Go fix also.
Maybe they copy from Go.
So it's mainly this thing. It's not a competitor, different stuff. You cannot compare them just. Really? Yeah, that's about it. Now it's a
Go.
question. Lots of questions. What sort of question? Life? Relationship?
Is it Facebook?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, just that.
Who present?
Go die.
Unfortunately, that's not a command. Yeah.
What did you display?
You want to change the resolution?
It's mirrored, so it might be easier just looking at screen.
Why do you look at that? It's the same display, man. Chill. No, change the resolution. You fix me. Not 4:3. Don't worry.
Why you don't use emails to
It's
present?
a mirror, right? But
Why
the
don't use
aspect
emails
ratio
to
is
present?
off. See, not all HDMI want the same.
Yeah.
I think
see shit on my screen.
what?
Great
Oh, it's
default.
worse. It's fine, just mirror.
That's why you should use ThinkPad instead. None of these problems HTTP.
Wait,
What?
Here we go.
1080p, choose
Split the screen, don't use the same display. Split the display.
I can't touch. Can't use
it mirror first.
Oh, good. But is he just coming and talking, or just starting Gojek here?
It looks different.
I'm not sure. You have
It's up for now.
Yeah, the issue is still
Put it up.
never have it down.
He extended.
Up, I think class version, not using Gojek anymore, like flipping use different name.
Different name, ah.
Maybe you take over my car.
I thought you were gonna present your stuff in Emacs.
Yeah, use Emacs.
I wish I had
Take over stupid Grab lah.
Emacs has already an OS, or how come you cannot do video?
Yeah,
Just reuse
It sounds a bit sarcastic, right?
yes, it's literally a bloody operating system.
Like your browser.
BOS.
I don't know anymore.
There we go. But how come it runs out after
I
that?
don't have to use my
It's the same.
No,
No, it's mirror.
Yeah, there we go.
The one I shift.
So
It's the same
but
screen,
they're
lah.
renting, right?
Why do I night shift? It's easier on the eyes, man.
My
You're still young. You're still young. I give you 5 years.
Leave it there. Okay, we're doing some advertisement platform.
I give you 5 years. I can guarantee that.
Then you will end up grumpy like me.
Then you.
Then I saw another one, MOO.
No, like,
I think it's like some display.
Is there now?
But then you don't do Kobo, so that's fine.
Guys, I'm gonna transfer it for you.
Whatever competitor around.
Okay, so good evening everyone. Like
Hi.
good evening all KL gophers. People on the fence who are still thinking they should go.
No.
So I'm Wei Jen. You can call me Wei. And so last month in the last meetup, I was asked by a few members here to share my learning experience because this is it was my first time like writing Go like last month. Even though
Just tell me.
even though I've been like active in this meetup since I guess March last year, in part thanks to my supervisor from my previous internship company, Ang. Okay, so
Come on.
There's no secret anymore. I can find you.
okay, so like Ang introduced me to this like meetup, and because back then when I was in where I work, like I was doing full stack like for the first time, and I didn't like front end. So like you know like I had this like stupid like reasoning. If I don't like front end, I must like back end.
Hey, if you don't like back end,
There's such a word, really NSW.
Yeah, I mean like
I can say.
so. Yeah, so I had this like strange.
You're not recording.
I had this strange.
That's the point.
reasoning- I had this strange reasoning that if I don't like front end, I must like back end. So I and I.
No, never mind. No
Like, continue.
No bad jokes. No bad jokes.
No. What do you want to say?
Nothing is horrible joke, continue on. That jokes.
Okay, where was I? Okay, so I thought I must like back end. So, and plus I came from a C programming background. See, my first programming language is C. And when I go to college, I write Java.
Yay.
Java is
No,
nice.
no.
And like, when I actually first wrote something in real life, it was JavaScript. So you can see the downgrade, like.
If you don't like front end, why do you part of the JS organizing team?
So interesting question. I'm about to introduce so I thought I can say this strange reasoning, but on the other hand, I've always been like fascinated by JavaScript. It's because I mean, we all know like there's no ultimate language out there, and JavaScript lets you. It's a shitty language, like whatever, but it lets you get things done. Like as a single person developer, I can create something out of nothing, like within reasonable time, and something that works and runs beautifully. So I've also been an active member of the Kuala Lumpur JavaScript Meetup. And yeah, so it's a little known fact, but since late last year I joined the organizing team. Although so far I haven't like contributed much.
Tomorrow?
tomorrow?
Share the site.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Wait. You are contributing. You are promoting KLGS.
No, let me take a picture.
Yes, tomorrow I put it to one of the side. I take picture.
I joined the group.
Can't take picture tomorrow. I put.
Okay.
But I've gained like a lot from Golang.
No,
Meetup.
you can upload the slides later.
Like because of Golang Meetup, I met my
No, I want
current
to put
boss.
tomorrow.
which is
That's
Bruno.
one of the slides.
I've learned a lot, good practices about Go. And yeah, so I mean, I think most of you here know Bruno, and if you don't, he's like the CTO of Blockchain Labs.
I don't know that's
Oh,
the
Bruno,
name of this
yeah,
company.
Bruno.
First time you see the name.
And it's a bit
We call him Bruno Cole.
yeah. So I think if you are in the Malaysian Go scene or cryptocurrency, you must at least have heard of his name at least once. So yeah, next. So since I was asked to share what I've learned, I mean my learning experience, so I'll start off with this. So like in 30 days, I wrote like gRPC microservices, and I wrote a linter that uses AST. I wrote an Emacs plugin, and the drone CI services, which are essentially just like Docker Go applications, and a static site generator. Yeah.
Very productive.
So like this thing is a bit of an interesting story actually, because
Are you still using Go vendor experiment when it's already?
it's not supported by GoLint. Like if you run GoLint, it actually links all the files in Lambda.
Okay, so you don't want to lint your vendors.
Oh, okay.
So I think like in the last meetup when I mentioned I'm writing this lint or formatter for Bruno, and people are like screaming, no, you shouldn't do that. Like there's this Go format, but I'll
No, you shouldn't do it yourself. You should merge it to the upstream.
Contribute back to them. Copying is better than
I plan.
practices.
I mean, I showed Bruno, and Bruno asked me to like commit, but I need
Exactly.
yeah, but I need to like clean it up a bit. So like I haven't got the time to do it. Yeah, so it actually began from a very simple request. Like if you go to the next screen. So we didn't actually do anything that's against Go principles. We just want to lint.
Oh, I remember the topic.
We just want to make sure.
You know why we're outrageous, because you say you want the Go format to do something else, some custom formatting and stuff,
Yeah.
other than the standard one.
But it's actually just one thing, and this.
Oh.
We just want to like break the imports into 3 groups.
Oh, okay.
And what Bruno wanted me to do was actually very simple. Like he asked me to, it's like he assigned like this is a 4-hour job to write a regex tool to like find errors in this so that we can integrate it in the CI like integration. And I thought like it's not a good way to approach this problem. So I thought, why not I just like look at the golden code and see how I can do it using AST. And it was a 4-hour project, but I ended up spending 2 hours and 2 days to like to get it work. And because like the moment I got somewhere close, it's like I was so amazed, you know, like I never thought I could do something like this, like using AST. So I got overexcited, and I wrote an entire linter to do this. Yeah. And the interesting part, I guess, is for me, like when I'm writing this, is how the AST works. Like I was really amazed that they can know the line and the XY, the line and column, yeah, of a keyword using just one integer. As you can see, like I just like provide an integer and offset, and it can like because I fork the Go code, so I use back that function. What was amazing is they could use one integer and find out like the exact line and column. It's from the code. So yeah, when I was building this thing, I learned another fun fact that when you import in Go, you cannot use the bracket import, like import block for C.
What? Really? What? Okay.
So initially, like Bruno asked me to write a lint that every file cannot have more than one import block. So like the C is like put inside and the code wouldn't come out. So I had to do this, like a special case for this. So yeah, it's a fun fact. Then the next one, I wrote a Golang CI linter for Emacs. For those who don't know about Golang CI lint,
I thought you were gonna ask for those who don't know about Emacs.
okay, so like, does anyone know about this?
No.
It's a pretty new thing. Like, I think I just started writing Go for like 1 or 2 weeks, and this thing was released, and I was super excited because if you use Go Meta Linter for VS Code or any editor that you're using, you know it takes very long time to like check. You never noticed?
I don't use Lint.
Oh, the default is just
Directly
Go Lint.
good.
The default is Go Lint. It's very fast. Like,
Is this Go language server?
it's not.
No, it's a linter.
So yeah, when I was writing this, when I was writing a linter, like I hope if I have the time, I can use the AST knowledge to write something like autocomplete for Go. Because
currently there's no autocomplete.
right now, all editors, they use Go code, a program called Go code, to provide these auto completion suggestions, and it uses the Golang in Golang when you build it or install it generates this PKG folder with all the
Yeah, that's the problem with that.
hints. Yeah,
So
so
you
like
go get to refresh it, right?
I heard because I'm new to Go. From what I've read in this short time, like ever since Go 1.6, they did this thing with this PKG folder. It somewhat changed the behavior, and the maintainer of Go code, the auto completion engine that VS Code mode uses, even the language server protocol uses Go code, as well as basically every editor that's not Golang is using Go code, and it's the maintainer himself said he's not going to like maintain this anymore. It's obsolete. It needs from the ground up rewrite. So yeah, because like you need to do like source code analysis to perform like real auto completion and not like what it's doing now that's abusing the PKG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case anyone didn't know, it's actually based on Go code doesn't perform that well if you don't do a go get. So if you're writing your own package and you don't run a go get, it won't get refreshed and the autocomplete won't come up sometimes.
Yeah, and if you didn't include import or when you open a new file for the first time. So interesting fact, because I was using Emacs and the Go code extension for Emacs isn't working so well. So sometimes I save, I run Go get, I go install, but it wouldn't fetch the suggestions. So what I tried to debug because like Bruno was making fun of my editor. So he wrote like a freaking paragraph and say Emacs is slowing me down, and so I thought I have to find out the problem. So I went through the VS Code extension code, and I found out that every time you save in Emacs in VS Code, the extension actually compiles the code. Yeah.
I disable that. That's why.
Then it'll affect your.
Yeah. That's why I run the go get.
Yeah. So if you haven't used like Golang CI lin, maybe.
About C-Tex.
Sorry.
C-Tex.
C-Tex.
Not working for Go.
That's that.
C-Tex is for C.
No, it works for other languages as well.
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good
I mean, why would you want that when you have LSP? Or
The C-Tex is much simpler and faster.
I
You
never
just
had,
do completion.
I never had problems with. Oh yeah.
You just do completion, nothing else.
Yeah. Maybe you can do that, but now I was thinking like you're doing the jumping thing, jump to that.
Yeah, that one also.
Yeah. So but LSP is very good for that. I never had problems. So. Yeah, but Golang CI lin is super nice if you want to check your errors like frequent. But I actually moved back to Go meta linter because it doesn't support levels of warning.
Next phrase.
Yeah.
Next one.
So yeah, like if you use Emacs, you can download it from here. Yeah.
Nobody will download it because nobody uses Emacs.
How do you install it?
No, that.
How do you install
What's
it?
the issue for Wingo?
You should maybe. Yeah, it's been.
Okay, so mostly at least a lot of Emacs users here, more than Windows.
Is there?
No.
What? Emacs?
Normally.
You also use Emacs?
No, I still use Emacs.
Emacs over Vim. Vim sucks.
No, I use Vim. I thought Vim more people use.
I use whatever that is coming. to server.
More stars doesn't mean that it's more popular. That's
No,
the latest saying.
I know more people use Vim than Emacs.
Yeah, Vue has more stars than React.
I use Nano.
Yeah, yes, you.
Believe it or not, I use Nano.
No,
That's
I don't believe.
that's insane.
I don't believe.
No, I also
That's
use
gone
Nano.
out. Respect.
Then you win.
Hi, you also use Emacs?
Okay, so to the meat of today's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk on gRPC on the web because I think this is something that I'd say most people don't do or yet. And when Bruno wanted us to do it, I was like a bit scared, to be honest. Because like it's so new.
Not new. Not new.
Not gRPC, but gRPC like on web browser.
If it's not new, you have to capture it.
Oh, gRPC open. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jellyfed.
So what is gRPC? Like I think most of you here know what's gRPC.
No, don't assume.
Google RPC.
Who knows gRPC? No?
Google RPC.
You have to explain like it's your talk there, come on.
I just want to know like how people know about this. Like I thought most go.
It's come with the title.
Google RPC.
Okay, so like
Next one? You want to
yeah, because
Oh, okay.
I was planning to share like my learnings, what I learned from using gRPC on the web browser. I am not planning to go like deep dive into gRPC, but so like gRPC stands for gRPC Remote Procedure Calls. I know it's stupid, but
Recursive algorithm.
sorry.
Yes.
PHP.
Yes.
So like if you've written Java, you're probably familiar with RMI, RPC. So it's basically the same thing, but they use protobuf. And what is protobuf? That's not a huge topic. But I can tell you, what I can tell you is it's an IDL language. Like you can specify like
It's a data encoding format.
yeah. So you can like specify a structure, for example.
Schema.
Yeah, schema, and you can generate code for you in more than
language.
10 different languages, and its serialization process is very good. So like it's faster than your typical JSON REST API, and it's asynchronous by nature. So I'd say it's much easier than trying to do HTTP asynchronously yourself, because like if you HTTP asynchronously is I think it's a not so simple problem. Like you can like if you don't control it well, it can take up too much memory. If you have long calls, it can like take up a lot of resources and block up stuff. Yeah, and it's built to be performance first, and we have strings. And what's protobuf? So like I said just now, it's a huge. It's a huge topic.
Oh, it's a small topic.
I mean, you can probably get the meat of it like in 5 minutes, but I think it in itself, the way it serializes stuff, and why you should consider using protobuf is that it's worthy of a talk by itself. But I like included like a short source code from the example from the documentation website itself. So, how would you typically define a REST API? Sorry?
Swagger.
Oh yeah. So I mean, but it's a very it's a quite manual process, I guess. Yeah, you have to define first you have to define your object, the properties, everything, and you have to.
This is just so.
Yeah. Yes.
It is so.
Yes.
You guys are too young.
Yeah, I mean like it's like SOAP, but there's no like ugly XML.
No, I think one of the good thing is it does code generation for you
Yeah.
very nicely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like you just have to write your function,
It's less painful.
like say hello, and then
That's how you can say
your
yourself.
parameter and your return object, and you just define the properties like this. What you have to do next, you just run protoc, PROTOC, and it will generate the server-side code and the client side stuff for you. So like in your client part, you just have to include this stuff, and you can just call the function like as though it's local, but it's not. It will like call the function on the server, and all you have to do is define the body of the function like in the server side. Yeah. So but if gRPC is so good, it support like almost, I think, literally every language you can think of. That's still in use.
Kobo?
Okay, that has reasonable market share. Developer mind share.
It's huge. Your bank account.
But the amount of the actual people who use this thing is very little.
Not true, but go on.
Yeah, it's about C, Java.
Yeah.
Basic, Pascal.
Pascal, I'm not sure.
Even Tech Max leaves. Leaves.
Okay,
Okay,
not us.
actual code that you would write for a server.
Server-
Actual language you would choose to
server-
write for a server. Okay.
Server side.
So
Okay.
So like, it's like, if you write gRPC, when I first write gRPC, I thought it must be the support for the browser, right? But no, like at least for now, like Google only it's like they're non-committal. They say they might support, but we don't know if it will actually happen. They say they have an announcement to make in October this year, which is not too far away from
They're
now.
gonna cancel gRPC.
Yeah.
It's the Google usual stuff, right?
Yeah, so it's not a political reason, but it's more of a technical reason. The web browsers doesn't support this HTTP trailers fully because you need because gRPC it's able to like send metadata like not for the technical term. But
What
it's
does
like,
it do?
okay, like for a REST call or a basic HTTP call, you make a call and everything comes together with it at once. But what this thing allows you to do is you can send things
Partial.
at different time. Yeah.
Frame.
Yeah, so it's very fast. Like it lets you do things like very fast.
So the thing is, it doesn't allow things like streaming.
Yep.
Right, because HTTP doesn't have streaming by default.
Wait. Then the WebSocket actually does most of this.
No, because it's not yes, but it's a weird thing within HTTP itself.
It's HTTP 2
HTTP to support it by natively.
One of WebSocket is it has to keep alive a single connection.
Yeah, correct.
But like gRPC is basically you can have multiple servers,
Yes.
but you load balance nicely. There's basically no easy way to load balance a WebSocket connection.
So you want to throw when the streams are just throw.
Like UDP connection.
Whereas WebSocket you have to keep it open for the connection is keep
No,
alive.
UDP connection.
No, HTTP doesn't. HTTP. Yeah.
No.
No, it's a bad idea. Okay, because
They have the new thing called that uses UDP.
Yeah, but there's Chrome morning.
yes,
Yeah.
and also not all
SBDY,
browser,
right?
browser also supports socket. Socket is the socket, not WebSocket. Okay, so in theory you can work, but the thing is, it's a different thing, and not all browser have it.
WebSocket.
No, it's not WebSocket, it's socket.
What?
Unix socket.
Yeah.
Unix socket. TCP socket.
Yeah.
Socket programming.
The network programming one, not the HTTP, the one that bundled with HTTP.
Yeah, the HTTP core is the TCP socket, right?
No. That you got layers, thin layers. TCP is this. HTTP use a bunch of stuff.
HTTP is
on
7,
top.
layer 7.
Yeah. So in this case, the browser support that level.
Oh.
No, get the idea. So yes. So in the end, we explain why you need this kind of thing. So,
Yeah. So like basically it enables true stream. That's like that makes gRPC so good for microservice because it takes up so little resources. it's fast, and it's like, yeah, you can like, it's basically perfect for mobile because you can like get just bits of information.
You get it from Bruno.
Continuously. And next. So there's also another explanation from a Google engineer. So it's probably a bit more accurate to say that while some browsers do have trailer support, the API to interact with HTTP is weaker than we would like. So yeah, but it's on its way. It's actually a living standard or proposal. So I'm not sure when they're going to implement this, but you can be sure. Well, I won't say you can be sure, but hopefully when it is implemented, then gRPC will have this client-side stream on web browsers. Yeah. So next. So enter like gRPC web. So fun fact, like Google also has gRPC web. Yeah. This is by Improbable Engineering Team. I think they provide some hosting service. I'm not sure exactly what they're offering, but so they did this. Yeah. So they
gRPC web from Google is basically a translation to REST only, right? No, I remember.
It's
from the Google one.
gRPC.
I remember one of them is basically translating to REST only.
No, that's gRPC.
no, it's not.
gateway.
It's
Gateway.
it's real RPC. As far as I know, it's real RPC. I think they do some kind of like, because from what I've seen so far, there are actually only two ways to do this. One is to convert to a REST, and another way is to act like reverse proxy. So like, or another way is to use actual HTTP2 features like fetch to achieve it. So like Google, as far as I'm aware, like Google is doing it the real way. So it has the same, I think it has the same like it has the same weaknesses. They don't support like client-side streaming. So yeah, no client-side streaming support until what the now lands in browser. So currently gRPC web only supports unary RPC. So like one request, one response, like REST. But as I said, with all benefits of gRPC and server-side streaming RPC, which is the main, I'd say the main star of gRPC, or why you would want it, why would you want to have it? Yeah, next. So there are also like no limitations. So as I said just now, you need HTTP2 fetch. But what about those browsers that do not support fetch? Like this new feature in fetch called body get reader. Like Firefox actually doesn't support it. Like I was quite surprised to find out about this because even Edge like supported, but Firefox doesn't. Huh?
There's a what? Fetch?
Body
Fetch.
get reader.
Oh.
Only Chrome support.
So it becomes like streaming, like just now the scanner one, you don't load everything into the memory.
Only Google Chrome supports full readable stream, which I guess makes sense because they're building this thing. And the problem with XHR is it keeps the entire server response in memory. So like I said just now, it's the same problem like REST. If you have this long call and worse like multiple calls, it will like consume a lot of memory, as if like Firefox doesn't take enough memory right now.
There's a lot of burn, man.
I don't know, like even though Quantum is super fast, I use it a while on my Mac. Like it burns, it makes my CPU like run like the fan like run non-stop. Like
That's super fast.
huh?
Super fast.
Not worth it.
Like Java lah, you provided unlimited RAM, it's very fast.
But Firefox uses very less
The
CPU.
runtime
GPU.
startup time is
GPU is
enough
very
to,
very
like,
low. Firefox.
yeah. So So next, should you use this on production? No, don't do it. Like it's like
We're not recording, so you can use anything.
Too late.
okay. So like
Audio only.
don't do this because like if you have been paying attention so far, then you know it's super experimental. Like Google doesn't have an official thing to like support it yet.
Out of curiosity, what problem are you solving that you really need gRPC on the web browser?
I'll get to that. so like next. So there's so many problems when we use this.
No shit. Like no shit.
So like there's this ugly calling mechanism. Like I said, if you use gRPC on any other language, the client is so nice. You just import the stuff and you can just call methods like how you normally do.
I think even on the server-side JavaScript code and all stuff, the gRPC is quite ugly as well, I suspect. I'm not seeing the JavaScript code for server-side.
Let's book something like
They should have. What
C-based.
Yeah, I'm not sure because I've only written gRPC.
That's for tomorrow.
yeah, for client and server. So I'm not sure about other language, but I would assume that would be the case. Like you could just call it like a normal function. But no, it's not the case for JavaScript. Like it's like you have to create this new object using the PG file, protobuf object, I think. So like protobuf generates this object for your language. So you have to like create an instance of this language and use setter to set your request one parameter by parameter. So if your function call is like a four parameter function, then you have like 5 lines at minimum just to call a function. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, it's not.
Is that just in Go or is it in other languages as well?
No, in Go it's just like a normal function call. You just call a function like you normally do, supply the arguments. But in JavaScript, yeah, you have to do this. You have to create this object. And
Or that's just for JavaScript.
So the thing is, I only wrote gRPC for Go and JavaScript, so I didn't have to
compile the group stuff to JavaScript, converting Go to JavaScript.
go for it.
Go for JS.
Oh,
JS against the
last meetup, everybody hates it.
Go
apparently.
for JS?
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about GoForJS last
Yeah.
last one.
Turns out it doesn't work as well as most people think.
So when I was researching on this
Oh,
topic,
you have WebAssembly for next version?
maybe when I was researching for this topic, some people what they do is before they have all this thing, they use GopherJS to compile the stuff.
Oh, it work.
They want compile to WebAssembly.
No, so GopherJS.
It's not yet.
JS compiles to JavaScript.
Go doesn't compile to WebAssembly, right?
Next version lah.
It does. It actually support. Like, there is support now for WebAssembly.
Next version. Next
Yeah.
version.
I think
Technically, you can compile it because because Golang compiler actually is GCC compliant. So if you want to play around, you can compile it to.
But Go doesn't use LLVM.
Why do you need LVM? It's very slow, man. I compiled LVM yesterday. It took me an hour.
Oh, then that's why. maybe that's one of the reasons why Rust compiles so slow, is it? Because they use
Obviously, no. Rust compiles slower than LVM.
Because they use LVM as the
Yeah,
back-
no, it's
for the-
slower than LVM. It's something on top of LVM.
Because they have to do more things on top of it.
And most of them have direct WebAssembly support because of LVM.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm aware, if you want, you can really do it. I'm not sure if it's in stable channel, but you can do it. There's support for WebAssembly, and this guy was like praising this thing. They say you can write like front end, like UI with Go and WebAssembly. So I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but this guy, maybe I can show you the blog post later, but not now. So yeah, so there's this ugly calling mechanism. Second, it's not fun at all to test and debug. If you write a REST API, it's so simple. Like you can test it from any browser, you can run Postman, you can set your headers, everything. It's so easy to test. But for this, the easiest way is to write a client, a Go client, a gRPC client. And it's a problem when you want to move fast, you know, like sometimes when you're towards the end of the sprint, you want to change something. And do not get me started on like Go package management.
What package management?
Not package management, dependency. Like everything is a Git repo. So like, I don't know how, this is something I wish to know, like for a good solution. Like how do you update all your repo? Like keep it up to date. Go
Ensure,
that.
something dash ensure there's, you're using that, right?
Because like, I mean we have our own guy, like the own team, like in charge of like infra. So they use GoDAP, and I think they lock to a commit.
Yeah, it's a commit right now.
But it's like super.
So it will be fixed at the new next version.
Yeah, so it's like super annoying. You have to update your commit every time you push. I'm not sure if there's a way to automate it. But
So you want to use the Git modules?
and so got one day when we were trying to debug this problem, Bruno was so frustrated because like a lot of like packages that depend on each other. Maybe because like we have a lot of in-house packages and a lot of packages that depend on each other. Like it's updated, but it's not working because it's targeting an older commit. Because how GoDAP works is it targets a specific commit.
So every time you need to go get.
No, when you run this integration thing, it pulls all this specific commit only. Like it pulls this specific commit in your GoDAP config.
The version pin is updated.
Yeah. But this,
maybe
no,
maybe
the
so
version pin.
something new with it. Because last time I used Go, I used Glide, I remember. Glide.
Another very hard to use package manager.
Yeah, last time I read Go, I used Glide. So long ago.
I don't know that, to be honest. But yeah, so basically it's very simple. It's just a file that you define every package, every import you use, which is basically a Git run, a Git repo, and you just specify the commit.
Cannot use tag? Can I use tag? Like
Yeah,
Git
can.
tag?
Yeah, but it's the same. Like
Tag is the commit, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but then
Fine.
not the hash, right? You mean the commit by the hash or the tag?
But you don't always use a tag.
You can
Some
use the
tags-
latest version.
No, you have to specify. So every time you update, you
Oh.
push something, you have to update the thing. And there's no way to automate it. Like, I mean, you can probably write a program to automate it.
So your problem is just that in-house you actually have certain versions, you updated the versions, but people are still using the old version.
No, it's more like when you commit a new change, but you didn't update the GoDAP.
So you
So
need
when
to
in the
lock
CI,
to-
it will pull the old version, and of course,
So you lock to one version. You cannot use the latest. Cannot lock to the latest version.
No, what
you
he
can,
meant
you
is
just remove it. Remove the thing.
what he meant is like log file. So
Yeah.
whenever they do a development, they have, because when he do development, he put in new stuff and stuff. So he can update the current dependency. Of course, it work on his computer, but when the CI sees it and when he didn't commit that latest log file, you pull the whatever that is old version of the
But you
previous
commit
log
the log
file.
file, right?
It's a log file.
Should commit the log file, right? You should.
No, you know like npm when you run npm install,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
generate.
no modules.
No, you generate a log file that specifies
Yeah,
the
package
version.
log JSON.
Yeah.
So you should commit.
So every time you run this npm install, it will install this correct version for you, and it's automated. But for Go, it's not. You have to. So there's this GoDAP thing that you can specify the commit yourself. But the thing is, you have to update it yourself all the time. And the last thing you want to do when you are committing a lot of things is you want to update it yourself.
I did something
Ego.
new. I didn't know what it is.
Don't worry, use Ego.
Something new. Yes, right. Yes, right.
No, we go solve a very serious underlying problem, which is what Go has a problem. Go actually, because Go compiles so fast, So the codes is actually when you pull a package, it's actually put it as a code.
Yeah.
And let's say you are maintaining a show it. Let's say you are A. You are A, and you have let's say you have B. Let's say this is your main package, and you are calling C, right? Let's say you are calling C version 1.0, but B that you requires also wants 0.5. So both of them have different API. So what Vigo does is this is the 1.11. This is the latest agreed standard, which the latest not in that right now is that whenever you do a pull, you compare it. What they call a minimal compatible version. You check. So when you pull A that requires a B, of course both of them cost it depends on C directly. You look up for the API, the most common API, the version for that. Then it will solve it for you.
I haven't heard of this issue in Rust.
You have the
Is it just Go or
More
what?
complicated production stuff you do, that's why actually
Yeah.
for
It's
toy
package
programs,
management.
probably
Yeah.
So most
Rust or C will have the same problem. Java also will have the same problem.
Rust so far I haven't seen like this
Yeah.
kind of problem.
It depends on what you have built.
Because you don't depend on something that breaks API like crazy yet.
Yes.
Like let's say because Rust compiled to let's say like SO or DLL. Let's say your DLL depends on another DLL
Oh,
version.
DLL, no,
See?
you don't use
See,
DLL.
that because that's the similar
Oh.
you face that when
DLL
you
is not updated.
when you face that when your DLL depends on another version, that you need the DLL which is another version. What cargo solve is what Rust currently solve it is it's Rust solve it via this A, B, and C. Of course, everything is a DLL. You call it has a C for let's say C for A DLL. And B actually has C for B DLL. Of course, they're one class lah.
Yeah.
Some random stuff to do.
Oh, but Go,
but
they-
of the same one. But because Go, everything they compiles. There's no such thing as a module yet in Go, but that's the one that's supposed to solve it.
Rust, would you be able to pass a data structure from A to B? Especially if they rely on the C, which the data structures
Can. No, you can use the one in A.
It's actually not Rust. It's basically C. The same word C.
In other words, it will be in the deep blue.
Yeah. That's why if you look up in big, like especially in games, if you look at their DLL, they have a lot of the same DLL for different. A lot
C
of
just include the header file, right?
no, header is the definition, but you see, the C have a 0.5 and 1.0 has different header. It's exactly the same issue. C. Java also has this same issue of they just include the different version of themselves.
Oh.
But in order to like the question from Han is actually mixed. Yeah. Then in order to pass it around, then you have to actually need to in Java you have to wrap it, adapt it.
By the way, this is why people use protobuf.
Yeah.
Protobuf as versioning, so that the higher version, stuff will actually that moves to the higher version can move to the older version.
Oh, so he's passing the dynamic library to
Yeah.
another.
Yeah. And if you notice, especially on Linux, if your let's say you download a binaries from somewhere, that depend on it happens very commonly on Red Hat, especially. You download this binary from somewhere and it says the libc is different, it doesn't run. That's exactly what happens.
No.
You will face that when you do more production.
Last time I do on, but that one is like different libc. You mean like muscle libc?
Yeah, no, not muscle. Let's say muscle 1.0 and muscle 2.
You will understand.
ABI.
Muscle doesn't work with anything that's actually
Yeah.
compiled. Like if you
It's
actually do
really-
some fancy stuff with impact that compiles with your
Yeah.
C library, if you want to run it on muscle rather than you can't.
Yeah, cannot.
You know, like what we say in Red Hat, the RPM hell, where all the different versions screw up and nothing runs. That's exactly the same similar issues. They are just differing because Golang by default compiles everything into a static like binary, so it requires all the packages to be compatible with each other's.
But they call those ABI, right?
Huh?
ABI.
It's different. No, it's worked differently. It's actually much simpler. You can treat it like JavaScript or Python, something like that. Source code based development, but because Golang compiles fast and into a static binary, so it requires all of them to be compatible. You don't the Golang tool chain is very simple. Everything is just like Python or something. It's just like running them as a script, but they compile it. In a way, it's very convenient because all your Git repo is also your repo module. But the problem is when you have different version compatibility, then you need a solution, which is they just decided that around early this year, and 1.11 they'll start to pilot. It's called Vigo, which it's a very interesting topic. Even Rust and stuff, they don't solve that problem yet because what they suggest the solution is finding the minimum compatible API first. So if I were to put it more, it's like version A to download a file is called a download.
And you got the parameter name.
Download file. Let's say I accept a reader, but version B, version 0.5, 0.1 when they decided, it happens to us all the time, especially download file. I decided to change it to path as a string. See, the API is different already, and it won't compile.
Oh.
So it's actually a very interesting article to read about, and it's a problem. A lot of languages face this problem of finding minimum compatible, especially a lot of functional programming also. So that's why either you force everybody to follow the same version, or in unfortunate case of Golang where the module is the source code, you need to make sure everybody is compliant to each other's.
I mean, you only understand if you write it in a team, but the API changes almost every day, or maybe every few hours.
As a dependency, yeah.
Which is why you make sure the team don't do something so crazy. Which is why you have pairs.
Yeah, we can solve a lot of things when we cannot even compile.
Yeah. In this case, that's also true.
It's a topic worth of itself.
So it's a team management thing.
But it's a solution that all the language implementers are trying to solve. Yes, especially.
Do you know why microservices is popular?
Because of this kind of shit.
Yep.
Yeah, dependency, yeah.
So rather than having one service that everyone actually agrees on, microservices normally means that different team handles different services. So that when you compile for that particular microservice, you don't have to depend on it. So that the separation between the different services is by teams.
So, yeah, now we got a problem. The problem is you don't know for sure what the schema of that data is.
That's why Butterbuff and Java.
Precisely. It goes back to this with that.
So now you see like Butterbuff is a huge topic.
Also, Butterbuff has is that a Butterbuff that is always moving forward? There's a Butterbuff, right?
Butterbuff, yes. Yeah.
Butterbuff, whenever you have a beer breaks and something, it's just moving forward. So you have actually a version, and even if you change something, remove something, it won't go away now. So it will be compatible.
There's no such thing as deleting.
You have to assign a
You
number. You must assign a number.
Once name is taken, you'll be there forever in the spec. So if you decided to rename it as a number, then it's actually another field.
Huh?
Like
You cannot rename.
So it's history, you live legacy.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
that's
can
why you
rename,
have
but the number you cannot reuse.
yeah.
That's why you have to design them properly.
Wow.
Or else let's say your systems 5 years later somebody want to call your API to update their very old system to the latest one. Yeah, you have in that kind of situation.
This is the biggest difference between any XML based or even any specification based. So Swagger also that someone can just rename stuff like, oh, it's the latest, and you actually break all the previous things. Photobuf or gRPC, where
It's
you name it
immutable,
like
like the way
you have to support.
going forward only.
Okay.
Yeah, so where was I?
No shit.
It's not fully implemented.
Okay.
Like I say, it's experimental. There's no client-sided stream. There's no. That means no bidirectional stream as well. Because gRPC actually has 3 kinds of stream. One is server-side, one is client-side, one is bidirectional. Yeah, and there's a lot of little steps. Like first, you need to write the protobuf. Then you need to generate the code. And so, an interesting problem that we have that I didn't realize is our own problem is because like when you in Golang you import you import using the git name.
Yeah.
When you write protobuf, you're supposed to use maybe relative path. But if you write the git name when you run the protobuf compiler, it will retain the git name. So like in a way you can use your git name in protobuf. So like in a way like the generated code, like it doesn't have to be a relative path. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, so that's protobuf, right? Okay.
Okay, so just want to say it's already 9 p.m. If going to explain a lot of stuff,
Out of curiosity.
9:30.
How do you organize your source code? Multiple Git repositories or one mono repo?
We have a project base, and every project there's like this like a small. For every project there is this. We break down the task, like obviously like website, backend, and some
Middleware.
different microservices, and we also have some utility programs. Yeah.
Front end.
Yeah, front end. It's also, but our front end is just a React site. So yeah, so there's a lot of build steps. Oh, and back to what I was saying. I'll try to make it quick. I know we're running out of time. Protobuf, you can also include other protobufs. So like I realize it's something not a lot of people use. So usually when you include relative path or absolute path. But the way Golang works, you import based on the Git. I mean your Go source directly, and it doesn't work in other languages. So the problem we had is when we try to compile this thing, because this gRPC web, the protobuf compiler makes a JavaScript stub, and the build, and if you use the Golang style import, then in your JavaScript you get the Golang style import, which of course breaks ES6 imports. So and it's like me and my colleague we were speaking to Bruno. Oh, we cannot import it this way, and he's like, oh, then we have to change everything. So instead of like doing it the right way, that was the design way to import files. We wrote a build tool to change the Golang Go source import to JavaScript style import. So as you can see, there's a lot of like build steps, and there's a lot of like opportunities to break. Yeah, so that's why that's a big problem as well.
Next.
And here's the one problem with the stream. So I forgot to mention one of the best things about gRPC is you can cancel. And if you try to cancel, you get all these nasty errors. And it's not like you can handle it in a try block and just ignore it. It will pollute your console. Yeah. And there's no way you can avoid, because if you look at it, it's thrown by the protobuf itself. Yeah. And our colleague actually report this issue to the maintainer, but he said like if we were to eliminate this, it will slow down the stream a lot. And we tried to do it, like we maintain our own fork and we patch this thing. Yeah, it definitely makes it like slower. I didn't measure how much slower, but it slows down definitely. So like even with all of this, like yeah. So like even if all of this, like unlike us, why do we want to use it? And to be honest, like it's very simple. So
Just use WebSockets!
our boss wants this. Like he
I know who's to talk next month. Why do you want stream?
so
My boss says so.
because like there's two of us in Kuala Lumpur, like other than Bruno. So we were like assigned to handle this thing. I was writing the front end. We have to integrate this thing together, and we spent like days trying to solve the import issue. Just a lot of like small issues
No
that.
wonder you don't like front end. No wonder you don't like front end. You're using back end technologies and front ends.
Yeah.
No, but oh yeah, I didn't go there, but I actually like front end now.
You shift so fast, man.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Shift tomorrow.
So yeah, so Bruno wants streams.
You know that this particular screenshot is going to hit, right?
Yeah.
Hey, record.
Audioing, just audio.
So yeah, and performance. Stream is very nice because like
If it works.
we run everything off our own servers. We don't.
Because out of curiosity, what data are you streaming? What type of data? Structured data, whatever data, lots of data.
Structured data, like search results.
You don't need.
Why do you this stream?
Bruno built this.
Next month.
Bruno built this master plan. It's like a bunch of microservices that can be reused for different kind of projects. So like he said, this thing will be future-proof for the coming years. So he built this like grand, like generic like microservices you can use for virtually every project. So yeah, so everything uses microservice and streams, and yeah, that's why.
Right.
And it's very fast, like so fast the browser can't even handle it. we have to because when you return the results, like oh yeah, there's this problem if you're trying to do search result with gRPC stream. Pagination is difficult.
Yeah, which is why you.
Yeah, it's a very I don't know how to make Bruno understand this.
You just tell the client side, just tell server, give me 10, then when you acknowledge that this one, send the next 10. That's what streaming is for. It's perfect already, man.
Or you
Stream is for.
No, I'm pretty sure
or you access them by resources as like resources.
Colin is your stateless. First thing they're stateless.
Well,
That's why you use streams, because you remember where you are at the stream,
Yeah.
and you can
No.
continue the next page.
Because the way the API works, it's not like stream on. Okay, when you run this thing on this JavaScript thing, this gRPC web thing, it is no longer like Go, where you can rec v.
What, right?
Receive the stream receive.
no.
No, because
ICV.
on the browser side it's actually request and response.
It's
No,
no.
I did that, okay?
No,
I
no,
did that
on-
in the live streaming thing.
No, if
so
you-
you use WebSockets
If
for
you write
this.
gRPC client, right, when you receive a stream, you write a loop that loops until it EOF, right?
Yeah.
And the stream.
No, I think what Han means is it really doesn't matter because as your result come in, we can store those.
Depends on how you
Then-
write the.
then you can,
Oh, I think I know why. The one I actually implemented, like what you were going to do, is actually say the throttling this one. It's actually bi-directional. You need bi-directional for that.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the server will keep sending until the client side acknowledge that I'm 10, I'm ready for more, I want more because I'm next week because of
but in this case, what we need
is it the same as use case as the Facebook infinite scrolling thing? Is it the same similar thing?
is it
The search usage.
Where
I
you
don't think
scroll
it's-
down, then you actually fetch it from the server.
I mean, ideally that's what you want to do. But because there's no bidirectional streaming, there's only server-side streaming.
Well, if you're using gRPC, that's hard.
Yeah.
I'm saying is just that everyone.
It's a very easy thing that can be done very
everyone
easily.
does infinite scrolling. Facebook does it. So how do they do it?
Who?
SSE, infinite scrolling things.
No, it's not SSE, it's resource ID. It's like
Yeah.
Elasticsearch, the way they do
Yeah,
it.
just fetch the next page.
Yeah. By this resource, I want this.
Auto fetch.
Anyway, off topic.
It's like a linked list. The Facebook one is whenever they give you something, they give you the ID, like the pointer of the next batch of the
Yep.
ID. lah.
Page, yeah, the page pointer.
Yeah, you use offset.
Yeah. Not offset. Facebook they use ID, lah,
The
but
last
it's like
ID,
pointer.
so you can continue from next ID.
Mm.
So you don't have to save the state.
Yep.
Do you know how to do paging fast? So the first page is that the last item of the page is actually sorted. You actually remember what it is, so that you don't save the state in the server. The next time you try to fetch page number 2, you will the servers, the client side will say that okay, give me the next page that's after this particular item, the last item. So the server will actually just skip until the next one. They don't need to know the number of pages.
Okay, but the problem I faced was the gRPC web implementation is event-based. So it's like on data, then you have to do something about it. Like you cannot pause it halfway. You can either maybe you do a count, every 10 and you do something, or you wait until the stream.
I think it's more like a long pooling. lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It looks like more like long
I
pooling.
think I know what Bruno wants to implement. It's just that
The browser doesn't
I
support
did it
it.
differently.
I think the browser
implemented something differently.
It's kind of like Firebase.
But that's using web
slow
sockets, so
paging.
it's different ballgame. Talk about this one, but yes, also.
So yeah, like a lot of like reasons not to use it. But if you still want some like gRPC goodness, you can use gRPC gateway. I was begging Bruno. If we can use this will make our life so much easier. Like it's definitely not as performant, and I'm not sure if they have streams. I don't know. I think it's possible.
Damn the
But yeah,
boss.
it's like reverse. It's reverse proxy. Yeah, it's a reverse proxy. So it's also a protobuf generator. Like from a protobuf, you can generate a reverse proxy so that you can act like a REST.
You generate the circuit for you.
Yeah, it will act like a REST API. But this is not without its problems.
Right.
So like a client, you don't know what I use. Just one of the reasons I use gRPC in the first place. And marshalling is very expensive. And you have to change. And it is not like gRPC web. You just compile it and generate the JavaScript one. This one you have to change the definition.
Are these problem for gRPC or?
Gateway.
Oh,
Gateway.
okay.
Yes, gateway.
Yeah, so next. Or you can use Google's official implementation.
They might cancel it.
Yeah, they might cancel it.
Like
And you must be thinking why we would use the alpha version over that is not official over a beta release from Google itself. To be honest, I don't have an answer for that. Because I didn't make this decision, so I would hazard a guess. Because right now we're doing React, vanilla React, but Bruno wants us to transition to eventually transition to React XP, or at the very least, React,
What is React XP?
Yeah, what's that?
React cross platform. It's like React Native.
What? Isn't it already like?
Windows XP.
It's a Microsoft fork of React Native. They use it to write the new Skype. So one code base for Android, iOS, Windows, Linux.
Oh,
Wow, that was all.
Huh?
That,
It's React Native.
including that.
I think so, if I'm not wrong.
No, it's the same. No, it's more like Angular by Microsoft, Google, Apple, whatever.
Standards are good. There's so many to choose from.
So that is Bruno's dream.
Dream.
And
I understand why lah, because of mobile, right?
yeah, and if we don't do that, at least we want TypeScript. So React,
It's like
let's do it. So React XP does use TypeScript already, out of the box. So or maybe we just want to like use React TypeScript. Yeah. And
Why Nginx?
another thing is the Google's implementation requires Nginx.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You all don't use Nginx, what do you use?
Good question. I'm not very familiar with Ops.
If you guys are running Go directly, then you guys are bloody great.
Yeah, I think we're definitely running Nginx. With some. There is this reliance that you can't get rid of.
I mean, it's not as good as Apache.
yeah.
No,
It's like
Apache is so
the
slow.
worst, right?
Apache is so slow. So many people use it still.
But well, there's
It's
this
not slow.
explicit dependency.
It's just heavy.
you can't get rid of.
Okay.
And it's not an NPM.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they only switch their polymer to
This is
NPM.
this is my reasoning.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
So,
I don't think we have time for demo.
okay.
we want to stay lah.
But thanks for everything and thanks for listening.
No worries. Yeah, I'm tired.
You know what's the worst part about this particular meetup?
We got all
What?
We
these
have a lot more content and we never record it
Yeah.
Yeah, but
compared with the previous.
yes, it's good. Huh?
Can you redoing it?
round two.
Oh, what?
Well, the unfortunate thing is right now I'm not writing Go anymore because like we tried to hire a front-end engineer, a front-end lead, but we couldn't find one. So because in the company I'm the only person who knows React. So now I'm the front-end lead.
Right.
Like for the time being, I hope.
So that's why you like doing front end.
No, I'm a bit like in the.
You have a love-hate relationship.
It's like I don't know if I want to do this like long term. Like I like React, man. Don't get me wrong. Like I like React, but
As long as you enjoy it.
yeah.
But you don't like front end.
Used to not like.
Used
to
React made me like front end.
Oh, okay.
Do it tomorrow, man.
Yeah,
React makes me like fun.
Tomorrow is ScaleJS.
yeah, I'll see you
Oh,
tomorrow.
Yes.
Where is that?
I've always wanted to
Next academy,
give a talk on ScaleJS, but it's like ScaleJS never have a speaker.
TDDI station.
Like every month we have speakers.
Near the TDDI MRT station.
Yeah.
Glow Damasarai.
And they always have like interesting topic. But for me, I just write React.
MRT or LRT?
So we don't have
MRT.
TDDI.
TDDI.
How long do we need to take from Vijayadil?
How long do you need to
Very
take from
long.
each other? Quite long, no?
Drive lah. Today you drive also.
So is that?
Very long.
So, no, that
2 hours lah.
That's not jam.
No. 2.5 hours.
Because
Yeah, parking is free.
No, 3 hours I think.
You need to change
I
three.
took from Subang Jaya to
because you need to switch
to
you need to
Changi.
switch Masjid Jame, then take an LRT,
Yeah.
then you still need, or you can walk to the MRT. It's not that
Where are
far.
you starting from?
Bukit Jalil.
No, he's coming from Bukit Jalil, you see. The TPBM.
Go to Masjid Jami, Masjid Jami.
Masjid Jame, walk to the
change.
MRT.
Yeah, or go to MRT directly.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Then
Then I
it's
go home
all-
also, I go Puchong also.
Okay, maybe you can go back home and use the Puchong Railway and come up.
This is what happened when I don't want to work.
Whatever, man.
There's a bus that goes to Bandar Taman at MRT station free of charge
There's a,
from Taman Bahagia.
Huh?
There's a
There's
bus
a
at
way
Taman
back.
Bahagia.
Come again, together.
Taman Bahagia at LRT station. There's a free bus.
No, I'm telling people I don't want
It
to
goes past my house every day. And then it will go to Bandar Taman station. It will go past my building actually. Then it will stop to Bandar Taman station. Then from there you can come down to.
That's why I need him to do
It's a bit of a
podcast.
loop though.
Not me out.
Swimming.
Because you all stay in downstairs, everyone say hello.
I mean, but what I like about I like doing this geography series
This is called the Puchong
because I
problem, you
can
see.
reuse this topic in here.
So nice. Stay downstairs,
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah.
go, man. Go for it.
Yeah, it's like finally I have a topic after 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
The photo you did,
Huh?
Agent.
No, I mean, my first language is C. I love it. So like, I mean, I think
They're designed by
Golang.
the same people.
Yeah.
I think Golang is super nice if you can write microservices. In fact, I think this is a kind of like a domain language of microservice. Like they sacrifice everything for latency. It takes very little resources. I mean, you wouldn't want to use this to write system program. I mean, Rust is better for that.
Not necessarily, but
Are you
okay.
sure?
The system program, like.
Not necessarily, but okay, if you say so.
I mean, you wouldn't want to write like I don't know why the Docker team uses Go.
Because it makes sense for them.
Because last
Yeah,
time
I mean,
Go
for
is
Go it
a lot
makes
better.
You know Docker runs on Windows? There's a reason.
like things that people use C normally use C or Rust for like if you want to write an Emacs. For
Well, the
example.
thing about Docker is just that it's supposed to run other things nicely on a lot of different operating systems. Right? Be able to compile statically one binary to be able to do that is very nice.
And there's lots of networking.
Yeah, I mean Docker. Do you know how many files it stores in your system?
Yeah.
One is this. What do you think? Serious? Oh, the Docker run Docker.
I mean, you can probably tell I don't like outside.
But the Docker is very big on the power.
Of course. How small do you want it to be?
They just do flat binary. How come you just don't chroot?
Because you gotta do other things. One.
It has its own isolation and stuff.
It has to do the bloody networking, the fancy networking.
You know that the logo relies on the Linux kernel, right?
C groups.
Yeah, chroot. You can also do chroot.
Yeah, do it manually yourself.
Layered file system. Can prevent your own overlay FS.
Right?
Don't need
The network.
layer file system just buy you mount.
Do you want to do it by hand?
Service
If you have
discovery.
if you have only one layer, it's fine.
Service discovery.
Just low, I think low.
File system.
Linux can do like
Isolation.
service discovery, right?
Huh?
Service discovery, Linux.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have.
And
Awahi,
that's-
called Awahi.
No, not there.
No,
No,
you
they
can
have.
run a lot of other crap.
There's a lot of feature that Docker
I
provides.
do not recommend Docker.
Yeah, so yeah, I think
I
like,
don't recommend Go either.
if you want to write microservice, I think Golang is perfect for it.
Okay.
But
Right, networking service.
for everything else, use something else.
Networking,
Okay.
Networking is very mature. Networking and the IO part of very
Mhm.
mature.
I think it's like a middle ground between C and Node.js.
It's by the same designer.
Between C and Node.js, it's like you have to allocate things yourself.
Can we quote you that you picked up and be able to doing productive things, go fancy advanced stuff, remember?
I can do. I
Can I quote you on that? From newbie, from knowing nothing about Go to be writing all these things.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a fair comparison because I know C. That alone like, helps
Oh,
me a
you
lot.
spoil the narrative.
Spoil it.
Hiya.
But it's easy to pick up, right?
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Yeah, that's the point of it.
I mean, it's GC. You don't have to. It's like it saves a lot of work for you.
Write a TOTP client.
And the standard library is very big.
Go.
What? No?
Christian library.
Golang?
Is there anything you wanted to build on your own?
Yeah.
With Golang?
Those
Yes,
standard library is very big,
So, name something, name a feature you want.
Golang.
No, name something that you want, some library that you want. Name it, I can give you in standard library. Huh?
CBOR.
Yeah, CBOR is that? Including CBOR?
Huh? That one also there?
Yeah. Yeah, CBOR is a
What common binary
yeah. CBOR is that?
object representation?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell.
It's like JSON, but then it's in binary.
It's a
Very-
binary.
It's something new, right?
Not new. See, nobody wants to use CBOR. Use what do you call it? The message pack. Message pack is much faster and smaller.
I do performance tracing.
Artificial performance tracing.
I
Have
do
you tried it in
benchmark.
production?
You should be talking to Eric. Unfortunately, he's not going to be around
Yeah.
to talk for performance.
I do
He
ban-
recommends
Where's Eric?
Message pack for me.
Which Eric?
Alexa.
message pack.
Alexa.
Huh?
No, Eric.
Oh, Eric, alright.
The
Which
Dutch
Eric?
guy.
He's very, very performance oriented. Anything he says mentions are anything about performance.
It's not very just fast. The memory allocation is much smaller for.
But I do
message pack.
serialization, deserialization. I tried CBOR is faster.
Faster as in like how much rubbish is creating. You have to check the allocation, like the
Yeah,
the
Rust
balance,
is not focused on
the balance between
Right,
garbage
memory.
and the CPU is there.
Normally I just check CPU time lah. I don't check memory.
Anyway, if it works for you, just use it. That's the point.
Yeah.
What does Eric use it in?
Message pack.
MSG,
It's a JSON in binary.
the one that comes
One of
with
the
the
shop.
Can I use protobuf?
No, it's
different.
it's support directly. Like JSON, like any struct, you can just easily convert it to that.
The biggest difference is that message pack is a schema pack.
No, it's schema, but it compresses into the smallest denomination. Let's say you use 1, then it's that encoding is the base 2 instead of base 32 and something like that. But the problem to Golang is if you serialize it back, and when you put an interface, and you always instead of getting like when you're expecting an integer, you get a binary back. So that
You're going to answer my question.
Oh,
You want to build.
I mean, I mentioned just now, like, I learned some things I'm pretty interested about, like the AST tree. So I think, right now Go is lacking of proper code suggestion engine. So I think if I have the time, that's what I want to do.
Would that be proper code suggestion? Let's say, would that apply to say PHP code suggestion?
I've never done this before. But in my short 2 to 3 days of doing it, I was really fascinated by it. I mean, I wish I could spend more time doing on it, but I already like over my time, like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, and Bruno was like, "We're going over the scope."
Yeah.
So it's like,
hey, for a beginner, it's good.
I have to stop there. And right now, I definitely have no time because I'm like a pseudo front-end lead now. So it's like I really have no time for it right now. But when I do, I definitely want to look at that because like I'm interested in this. I like Emacs, so I'm interested in this kind of
I've
thing.
got a very curious question. Why Emacs?
I just use it and stick and start with it.
That's the same.
When you
That's the
start-
same rationale.
When you start using Emacs?
Emacs was my second text editor.
What's your first?
Yeah.
Where?
My first is Subline text.
Oh, okay.
What? That's weird.
That's weird.
Because when I started programming, I was like searching. My first programming is C. I don't need a fancy text editor.
So you started
What
Emacs
year?
before C or
What year?
My process.
4 years ago.
Very young.
Interesting.
You know why I started with Emacs? Because there was no editor around. So, yeah,
is, I think what people do, the first thing you search is best text editor.
Well, yeah, that's definitely the best lah, because it's an operating
And
system.
and like if you search for that, you know Vim and Emacs is contentious.
Actually, when I started, it's there. It's
Okay, but when I searched, it was contentious, which is better. Like some people like Vim, some people like
But last time I started using Vim before I even learned any programming language.
Wow.
I don't even know. I don't even know what
Do you use it for?
I don't know programming. I don't know how it's programming. I just learn
Do you
Vim
use
first.
op mode?
Op mode.
Yeah, almost nice.
I tried it a while, but like
In order to
with everything that requires manual like intervention, I always like fail. Like I try to keep I try to budget for like those budgeting apps with the key in every single transaction. I tried even when you're in school, like you have to teachers and your parents tell you have to keep a notebook of all your homework and everything. I couldn't do that. Like there's no way I can use op mode. I'll just use it for 1 or 2 days because it's this thing is so fancy, it's so nice. But later I just like leave it there. Yeah. So as much as I want to use it, I don't use it very much. I pretty much use Emacs exclusively as a text editor. That's it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to use it as an operating system.
You send email with Emacs?
I like looking at emails in GUI. I like to browse that browser, nice coding. So I guess that's rules out most things people use Emacs. Email news, web browsing, anything. Yeah, I like Emacs because like I made so many changes to it. It's like second nature.
You know, all of them can be easily when I switch over to VS Code, it's just a install extension.
But I have to make VS Code like my own again, like from scratch. It's not worth it.
Finding money.
Over the years, like something like going there, adapting to whatever we are facing. It's actually easier to switch machines.
Yes.
Rather than getting the editor to follow rules.
Because the editor doesn't revolve around you. Right? The operating system doesn't revolve around you.
And I tried. It's not that I didn't try to switch. Like when VS Code came out, I installed Emacs key binding and everything, but it doesn't feel right.
No, don't use. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Like as much as I like move towards it.
Emacs is like Emacs.
And I make my Emacs like I can show you like I make it like super nice. Like
Welcome to Emacs Malaysia, yeah?
I can't.
Okay.
I really. There's no text editor that you can do the same.
And you program your
Mm.
using leaps. You write leaps.
I know enough lists to do things with Emacs. That's it. But it's like I hate using a mouse. So it's like I can jump to any words. Like that alone, like no text editor can do that. Like if you want to switch to another file, I don't even need to look.
Vim also can do that. Vim can do that.
It's like
But you're used to
all
the,
editors can do that.
yeah.
Plugins.
But you're used to the key binding.
Yeah,
Yeah, just get used to the key binding.
that's true.
Then I can like jump around. Like if I want to jump to the that over there, I can just like key.
But how do you delete the whole import statement? All the import.
It's a quiz, man.
Oh my goodness me.
Like
Even small keys, so many keys.
no, but I have to. Why is I have to do it all over again? Which,
Yeah.
why do I have to do that?
I understand that.
Yeah.
That's the same dilemma.
But how do you sort the import? All the import, how do you sort?
Come on.
How do you solve it?
Oh.
Yeah, show me, man, dude.
Sort lines.
So many keys. So many keys.
I mean that's something I don't use often, so I don't mind. You can set that binding every you want.
Also,
like,
for every key you use, normally you bind it.
No.
if things that I use often.
Default is
Like I show you like why I don't need C tags. Like if I can just jump around like everything using keyboard. Like why do I need C tags? Like everything works so well.
C-Tex do this lah. C-Tex is the one that allows you to do this.
But if you use C tags, you have to generate the tag file and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
And Emacs GUI is actually very nice.
I don't use GUI.
So use the terminal one.
Yeah.
that one.
It has autocomplete for everything.
Suck here.
I can just delete a file from here.
Everything can do that.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You can play 201.
Import butterfly.
But how long you have to do
Import butterfly.
How long you have to do it? Other
No,
you
import
have
butterfly.
to move your mouse over, right click, and look for the
Wait,
options.
import butterfly. Show them.
Import butterfly.
Oh my
Meta,
goodness.
Meta, butterfly. Yeah. Yes. 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 That's a real programmer.
What's this?
Real
Oh
programmer.
my goodness, you're not a real programmer.
Wow, you try to know.
You are not a real
Well,
programmer.
if you're sad, if you're that sad, you can use Emacs Doctor.
Oh, okay. Okay. 201 you also have. 201 also Tetris also have.
Ah, Doctor.
This is the doctor.
Eliza.
Okay.
This is stupid.
It's Eliza.
This is
It's a Turing. Okay.
No need to justify it. You use it because you like it. That's it.
Yeah lah. It's a why. Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for.
That was a piece of the Salasin.10 podcasterium. It is hoped that you have enjoyed it. If you have any issues, please feel free to leave a comment through any of the channels. That was a piece of the Salasin.10 podcasterium. It is hoped that you have enjoyed it. If you have any issues, please feel free to leave a comment through any of the channels.